Okay, so I thought it would be nice to see what this technique would do with Gershwin, which is the closest I have to jazz in my repertoire, because I'm a classical pianist. And because jazz has such a history of variation and such a part of its form, I was just curious what would happen if I got a little close to that. And I chose the first prelude from Gershwin's 3 preludes, and it runs about a minute or so, and I'll play the original, and then I'll do a variation on it. I would also say that this technique will make variations of music basically from Bach to music of our own time, and that as a composer I'm using it to heavily with one piece that I'm working on right now. And the idea is to create a music that changes from one hearing to the next, but is still recognizable as the same music, and in the same way as I recognize Steve Strogatz as Steve, and he recognizes myself, and we recognize Hugh, and all of us are changing from minute to minute sometimes, and the river out there is changing day to day, but I always recognize that river out there as the Charles River, and I would like to make music that is recognizable as, oh, this is such and such a piece. And I've heard this piece before, but it's changed. Something about it now is different. And as the composer, I would be able to prescribe what's different about it and control what's different about it. But the technique helps me to make these variations, even though the original piece is completely my own and done without using this technique at all. However, the fun comes when you wish to make something that is truly dynamic, in other words, a piece that's changing even on the composer. So the original Gershwin is here, and it's a solo piano piece. And it's on a different channel. I have to change this. Okay, so here now is a variation of that entire first prelude. So that's what the technique did, basically raw. But I could go in and change any of those notes that I wanted to, because I might hear something a little bit better, or maybe some of it I didn't like, and I could just replace it with the original. Also, I've made a number of variations on this Gershwin prelude, and a few of them have some parts that, though the whole variation I'm not as fond of, say, as this one, but it has certain parts that are really good. So I might make a compendium variation that has the best parts, you know, of all of them, and perhaps something that I've added too. And the point isn't really to change Gershwin's music. The point is actually to make a new music for the future, which is dynamic, that artists and composers can use and create something for the next century out of something that was done in this one.
All right, thank you very much.
Sure, you're welcome.